Uchenaya, what troubles you? You look lost and worried, Obiora asked the younger brother. But Uchenaya answered, when are you getting married? I don't understand. What sort of question is that? What exactly is going on? To think I had the same conversation with Dad, saying the same thing. But Uchenaya continued, I wouldn't want to lose my lover because of you. You know I cannot get married before you as the kingdom tradition. You are preventing me from getting married. You just returned from America. You have princesses all over your feet. Maidens are all fighting for you. Why don't you choose one of them? But Obiora replied, I don't love any of them. These maidens and princesses are lusting after me all because of a crown. Try to understand. And he walked away. At the elder council meeting, the Ichies or the Igwe to advise his son, Prince Obiora, to take a wife so as to perform the ritual of becoming the next king. I am trying, the king said, but ever since my son, Prince Obiora, came back, he just refused all the maidens I have chosen for him, even the princesses. You must find a way, Igwe, to make it happen, or else the kingship position will move to another kingdom. Never. It cannot happen, the Igwe said. I will hasten it up. At the palace, Princess Noma came to visit Prince Obiora, and they got talking. Prince Obiora found out that he never had any connection with Princess Noma, as she was talking about marriage and money and queenly position. She never had any of the community interests at heart. Prince Uchenaya, that is Prince Obiora's younger brother, decided to send some maidens over to seduce his elder brothers to fall, but none of the plans worked. After much persuasion, their father the king, Achugo, called a meeting where he informed Prince Obiora that his birthright will be given to his younger brother if he failed to get married at a speculated time. But Papa, you cannot do that to me. Yes, I can. I am your father, and what I decree as the king stands. Your younger brother, Prince Uchenaya, has a woman he truly loves, and time is ticking against me. If my son does not perform the ritual on time, the kingship will be taken away from me. I wouldn't want that. It did not happen in my father's time. It still did not happen in my father's time. So it cannot happen in my own time because it will become an abomination. I'll give you 3 months. If you don't bring a woman, I will give your birthright to your brother and allow your younger brother marry and perform the ritual that will make him the next king. And he walked away. Princesses, maidens of Ntuke kingdom continued to fight themselves in order to get the prince's attention. But Prince Obiora never paid heed to any of them, knowing fully well that they didn't love him but loved his throne. One day, Prince Obiora asked the father to organize a contest for maidens in the village where he was going to choose a maiden to marry. His parents were so excited. Finally, Prince Obiora was going to pick a wife, and they put out a plan in motion. Sent messengers across to different kingdoms and various communities, informing the maidens and princesses about Prince Obiora, the most eligible bachelor, who will pick a wife at the Festival of Wives that his kingdom was organizing. When the news got to the various kingdoms, princesses from various communities prepared themselves. Maidens also adorned themselves with beautiful outfits. News circulated. Most of the maidens were all eager to be the wife of Prince Obiora. But tragedy struck a few weeks to the festival. Prince Obiora had an accident that nearly took his life and rendered him crippled. Prince Obiora became sad. His hope of finding a new wife dashed. He became moody, locked himself in the room and refused to see anyone. As a result of his difficulty, his parents employed a personal assistant, a young orphanage maiden named Angoli, to take care of Prince Obiora, since he had been proving difficult. Angoli started working at the palace, helping Prince Obiora, who constantly insulted and ridiculed her. In fact, Prince Obiora transferred his frustration and anger on poor Angoli, but she continued to serve him, respect him, and never said any bad word to Prince Obiora. King Achugo hid the state of his son's health. A cripple cannot be the king. But I want my son Prince Obiora to get married, he thought to himself. At least he will be responsible enough and well-mannered. Instead of cancelling the festival, he gave the go-ahead to continue. On the day of the festival, the king and his wife pleaded with their son Prince Obiora to attend the festival. It was indeed a very colorful event where dancers and magical colorful activities were all performed. All the maidens and princesses all came out in mass, looking to meet the eyes and taste of the prince. They all wanted to be selected to be the next queen of the kingdom. But they were all shocked when Prince Obiora arrived the venue in a crippled state. The once admired Prince Obiora was in a helpless state. The maidens and princesses all said to themselves, "We cannot marry a crippled prince. Who knows whether he is still a man? Maybe his accident made him impotent." Even when the prince decided to choose a maiden from them, she publicly rejected him, same as others. In fact, none of the maidens and the princesses agreed to marry Prince Obiora, despite him having the crown. Prince Obiora felt helpless and humiliated by the turn of events. After the festival, he went back home, locked himself in the room. But his younger brother came to console him, telling him that one day he will find a maiden who will love him for himself and also his crippled state. "How can I find a maiden or a princess that will love me? You saw the public rejection and humiliation I underwent at the festival of wives. All the maidens and princesses refused to marry me because they heard that a crippled prince cannot be the king. Like I told you earlier on, they are all after the crown." But Prince Uchenaya replied and said, "I never knew all this. I thought you didn't just want to get married." "No, I wanted to get married," Prince Obiora replied. "I know from first time, even when the maidens were fighting over me, I knew it was not love, but because of the position. You are lucky, my brother. You have a fiancé already who loves you and you love her too. I give you people my blessing. Go ahead and marry her." "No, brother," Prince Uchenaya replied. "I will wait for you. My God tells me that you will find a woman very soon who will love you for who you are. Just continue with your therapy and exercise. Who knows, you might be able to walk again." After some few weeks of constant and severe therapy and exercise, Prince Obiora became well and could walk. But he kept it to himself. He didn't want to make it known to the public. He only told his younger brother, Prince Uchenaya, "I want to get a woman, a maiden, who will love only me in my crippled state and not because of my crown. We need to do something about it." And immediately, they devised a plan to find a maiden who will love him in his crippled state. Prince Obiora and Prince Uchenaya decided that Prince Obiora was going to disguise himself as a humbled, crippled peasant, where he will leave the palace in secret and wander the kingdom in a disguised state. Prince Obiora, who pretended to be crippled, roamed the kingdom, encountering people. In fact, he experienced hardship and suffering. His path crossed with the village orphan Angoli, who happened to be his servant and who helped him nurture himself. Angoli was a nice young maiden who loved helping around her community. In fact, one fateful day, she found Prince Obiora sitting by the roadside, shivering. He pretended to be a crippled and disguised himself. She never knew that he was the prince. She felt pity for him and helped him with shelter, gave him a nice clothing, and also gave him some food and water. Over the week, Angoli took it upon herself to check on the stranger, bringing him food and chatting with him, telling him about the joys and sorrows of the village. She never even asked Obiora his past or how he got to be crippled. She talked to him with an unwavering kindness. She still did not recognize him to be Prince Obiora, the prince whom made her life miserable. Even when Prince Obiora tried to make a conversation about the crippled prince in the palace and how arrogant and condescending he is, Angoli defended Prince Obiora, saying that it was not his fault and that it was his helpless state that was bringing out the frustration, which made Prince Obiora to be surprised. How can this maiden, despite everything I did to her to make her leave, she never left and still speaks highly of me? In fact, spending time with Angoli made Prince Obiora see life in a different light. He started falling in love with Angoli. Prince Obiora went back to the palace and revealed his state to his parents. They were so happy. But son, why didn't you tell us? Sorry, I wanted to find a wife. So I and my brother devised a plan and found a woman truly meant for me. Who could this beautiful woman be? Is she one of the princesses? No, mother. You will be surprised to know who she is. And immediately, Prince Obiora summoned the maid, Angoli, and she came. Angoli was shocked when Prince Obiora held her hand. Please, I am sorry for the way I treated you. I humiliated you and poured out my frustration on you. But you still helped me and saw hope in me. My prince, Angoli replied, I am just doing my job. But my dear, you extended your job to that crippled man you helped, gave shelter to. A lot of people passed me without helping me, despite my helpless state. The man you helped weeks ago is actually the man standing in front of you. Shocked at the realization of it, Angoli stood there speechless, and Prince Obiora continued, I have grown to love you, and I will love you to be my wife. Angoli was shocked and nodded her head in agreement. There was jubilation at the palace. Words got out that Prince Obiora, the crippled man, is no longer crippled and can now walk. In fact, he had gotten himself a new wife in the arms of the orphan girl. Most of the princesses and the maidens all rejected their action. Marriage between Prince Obiora and Angoli was a huge and eventful one. Dignitaries from all over the world graced the beautiful occasion. It was indeed an eventful celebration. Finally, Prince Obiora got a wife who loved him for himself and not for the crown.